Welcome back, everyone. We are 1-1 heading into our third match here. On the draw this time. Alright, so we got a Negate, we got a Snake, and some other relevant 2-drops. So let's go ahead and keep here, I guess. We'll lead on this Flooded Strand, probably grab a Hallowed Fountain. Okay, aired Nissa. No turn 1 play. Alright, slight change of plans. We'll lead on this Celestial Colonnade. And then most likely play a Tribe Elder next turn. Okay, Stomping Ground. So this is either Scapeshift or... oh, okay. Flame Blade Adept. So... and this does a menace, so we will not be able to do our block and sack trick here. So let's see. In the face of this, I think I'm going to keep up Negate to try to block a Burning Inquiry or something like that. And then next turn, I think we'll get down a Flooded Strand and try and get down a Gideon, depending on what their board state looks like. A Metamorphose, okay. A Metamorphose, okay. A Goblin Lore, so this one, definitely going to negate. And they can go ahead and get at us for 1 if they like. Okay, so here, yep, I think we'll just go ahead and get our Gideon down. We can rely on this snake to fix our colors. And for right now, we're not really hurting for too much, so I think we have a minute to dirtle here. Gut shot. Wow. Okay. So it looks like our opponent is probably playing some number of the Arclight Phoenix in their deck, if I had to guess. Bolt. Yep. Is this the Burning Inquiry? Nope. Just an attack for nope, nothing. Alright. So here I think I'm going to shock this in so we can get down both our Snake and our Search for Azcanta. Opponent's down to 3 cards in hand, so why don't we pay some life here. 1, 2 for Sakura-Tribe Elder. And we'll get down this Search. This opponent has used 2 burn spells. We might even be able to land this Nissa next turn. So again, Sakura-Tribe Elder will not be able to block the Flame Blade Adept, but depending on what they do here, he might be able to block something like I don't know, like a Swift Spear or something that they... Alright. So our opponent's going for it here. Bedlam Reveler, okay. So we're going to take a big hit. And there's the Arclight Phoenix. They are fortunately out of spells for the turn. So take the hit for 3 here. Can't block, as we discussed. And then if we don't peel the Terminus, I think my plan is going to be... we're going to get an island here, by the way. I think my plan is going to be to Detention Sphere the Reveler. So, I think we will put Opt into our graveyard. We'd really like to hit a Terminus. Not a Terminus. I'm just trying to think here. If if our game plan is to try to get a Terminus next turn, maybe is it worth playing the Jace, brainstorming? I don't think it is. I think depending on our opponent's hand, they have the potential to really uncork on us here. So why don't we just get this Bedlam Reveler off the table? And we're just going to try and, I guess, opt on our opponent's turn here. See if they commit anything extra. Okay, they do. They do. Morphos. Okay. So we don't have any 1 mana interaction that can counter their spells or anything, so we'll just let that go. And then they'll cast their 1 more spell, and they'll get to play their Arclight Phoenix. So fortunately, as 1/1s, these aren't too terribly scary. All right. A little more terrifying here. If we would have had 1 more mana, we would have been able to play Jace, brainstorm, and try to hit our Terminus that way and set it up on top of the deck. But these guys are pretty scary here, so we're probably just dead. And this is the reason why we play Terminus. I mean, I know that I obviously didn't draw it, but you know, this is pretty absurd. So we'll go ahead and try and hit our Terminus here, and it's got to be now, and it's not. So let's go ahead and concede. Right, getting it for 6 plus 8. That's 14. Yep. So that's that. So again, if we would have had one more land, we could have tried to get the Jace in play and set up a Terminus that way. So why don't we bring in these cards here to slow down our opponent from being able to deploy all their threats. We're going to bring in some of these, and so our opponent does have green, so I'm not as enamored. We're going to cut a couple Teferi. We're going to cut the Search for Azcantas. They're just too slow. I'm going to cut the Logic Knot as well. Mana Leak's kind of hit or miss, but I think we'll cut one of the Jace. Although, no, we're going to keep the Jace in just because, again, it helps us bump and set our Terminus here, so to speak. So I don't know whether I want to double down on the Sphere or not. They could easily have an answer for it in the post-board game. If I did cut the Spheres, what would I want in its place? I'm not sure. I'm not even sure. The Coursers probably aren't too great here either, but they will help ramp us a bit. Let's see. Tracker doesn't block Phoenix. Tracker by itself, of course, can't really effectively block. They're one drops either. They're probably playing some number of hollow ones. Why don't we cut? We'll cut both of these. Bring in the other Sphere and a Tireless Tracker. I just think the Tireless Tracker is a more relevant threat. We can at least grow it. And okay. So no white source. No white source. The Jace doesn't look great. And the Damping Spear, I could easily see us just kind of caught in a position where this just doesn't do anything. Because again, this card, I think this card comes in just because it's, I don't know, it's something. It's just kind of something to do. So why don't we mulligan this, I think. His hand leads very hard on the Rest in Peace. And unfortunately, we just can't get these Termini out of our opening hand. But I think we're going to keep this one. And as a land, it doesn't tap for blue mana. We're going to put this one on the bottom, I think. Or maybe that's greedy. Alright. Let's see, we can't interact at instant speed with their turn 1 play if they have one anyway, so we'll go ahead and enter that tapped. Now, of course, a turn 1 Burning Inquiry here could really throw a spanner in the works. Okay, no Inquiry, just the Flame Blade. Since they don't have anything in the graveyard yet, I'm just going to oust this and play this Temple Garden tapped. Because in the event that they have like a Nature's Claim in hand, I don't want to just play Rest in Peace, get it claimed immediately, and just have them keep on rolling here. So, yep, that's a card there. I didn't realize so many decks in Modern were starting to play this. This is what, the beginning of your upkeep, or whenever you cast a red spell. Okay. Well, we have some cards that deal with that. So, yeah, let's just get this Nissa down, just to grab us a land if they want to deal with it. That is their prerogative. Maybe we could even get them to pop their shrine on this. I don't know. They're probably not too scared of that. But so what do they need? 3 mana to tap that open. Okay. So there's their Flame Blade Adept. Second Flame Blade Adept. Alright, so it's a pretty scary start. The Damping Sphere. I think first things first, we're going to offer the trade with the Nissa because she can't trade with either of these anyway. So we'll get in for 2. And then I think we will Field of Ruin their Copperline Gorge and play the Damping Sphere. Grab an island off of this. And pass the turn. So I guess we're looking for a Detention Sphere here. Okay. Got a Terminus in the bin there. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're still 2 mana away from our own Terminus. So they can get back their maximized velocity. Wow. Alright. So I guess we might just be dead. they can still get back maximize velocity, make these 8/8s, and then they have a Shrine of Burning Rage at 6. Yeah. Well, that's pretty gross. So, alright, so we have to play the Detention Sphere on the Shrine, get the Shrine, or else they just untap and kill us next turn. And then we just have to hope that they can't... Yep, pretty gnarly. So we had quite a few Termini in the top of our deck here, which would have been really great to have, obviously. But let's get in for 2 with Nissa, because she can't do much else for us, unfortunately. And we just have to hope that, I don't know, that our opponent has a heart attack and times out or something. I think that's kind of where we're at. Not that I would wish that on anyone, for the record. Okay. And then they can just get the other maximized velocity out of their bin, right? No? Okay. Alright. So now, what are the odds that the 4th Terminus is at the top of our deck? I don't know. Okay. So let's see. We can play the Plains. We can Celestial Purge one of their gentlemen. We can double block the next time, so we're at 1. It's quite the thorny situation here. So when we get down a blocker and pass the turn. But at this point, I mean, things are not looking great. So, maximize velocity on their dude. Okay. Maximize velocity on another dude. Okay. So opponent is Hellbent. We will have to fully trade in both of our cards here, unfortunately, in order to get this guy, but then we can purge this one. And we're technically not dead. Okay. There we go. I guess that's about as good as we could ask for. Our opponent gets the Faithless Looting here. One moment. Okay, so we will play out the Breeding Pool, investigate. I think we're down here to just immediately crack this. So, I mean, if they top deck a Phoenix, I think that's their only haste creature. So we're going to go ahead and get in here with the Tireless Tracker. I mean, if it's a Phoenix, we're just dead anyway, so... There's the Faithless Looting. What's going on here? They got 1 mana left, not enough to cast their thing because of our Damping Sphere. So why don't we play our land? We will investigate. I think we're gonna play a Tribe Elder. 1, 2, play a Tribe Elder. Opponent has 1 card in hand. Why don't we just sacrifice it immediately? For an island. And let's crack a clue here. Okay, into a forest. We'll go ahead and attack. So this puts our opponent on a 3-turn clock. I'm not sure if it'll be fast enough before they can top deck a burn spell, or a Shrine of Burning Rage, or just about anything. Okay, so there's a hollow one. And that's a Bedlam Reveler. Alright, pretty scary. There's a hollow one, okay. So we'll go ahead and crack a clue here. Sunpetal Grove, alright. Okay, Detention Sphere. So now, unfortunately our opponent has two cards in hand. We can Detention Sphere one of their threats and hope to draw into something else with our tracker. So why don't we play out the Grove. Crack this clue. Cryptic Command would be great. That's pretty good too, I guess. So let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have just enough mana to play both the Gideon and get their other threat off the table. So why don't we play the Detention Sphere? White, blue. Okay, we still have double white up for our Gideon. We will Detention Sphere the hollow one, I guess. Just so, in case the Reveler comes back into play, it doesn't trigger a second time. Play out the Gideon. So, is it better to emblem here? I'm not sure. So if we emblem, they might just be able to lightning bolt and then kill us. I think we're on the dodge the burn spell plan anyway. We could, however, well, we could emblem and see what we draw next. I don't think they have anything that kills our Tireless Tracker. So maybe we just emblem, and if they have 2 burn spells, then we're just dead. So let's see. If you have it, you've won. If you don't have 2 bolts on hand. Alright. So that's kind of what I figured. So can kill Gideon even if you ult, and then I can burn face. Fair enough. But we're definitely going to at least make them have it here, I guess. But our opponent was being a pretty good sport, I guess. So we'll go ahead and just do that and pass the turn. So yep, as they have said, they have the double bolt and managed to get through it. So managed to get through us. But once again, so this is the kind of matchup where Terminus would have really saved our bacon, but Burning Inquiry is an unfortunate magic card to exist, and so it pretty much stripped our deck of all of our copies, and we were unable to come up with it. But once again, so what? This is game 3. Game 1 was Storm. Game 2 was Mono Red Phoenix, and game 3 was Red Green Hollow One. So again, just going back to the comments I made in the deck tech about where the modern meta is at the moment, things are just pretty rough for anyone who's trying to interact in Modern. But we knew this going in. We knew what we were signing up for, and so we're doing the best with what we got. So that was a pretty exciting game to lose there, I guess. I thought maybe, just maybe, our Tireless Tracker could get across the finish line, but this card is also fairly insane, and unfortunately we just couldn't come up with it. So looking back on it, felt like we were pretty pressed into the decisions we made there. Like I said, with the amount of things that just kind of made us discard, and having those double Flame Blade Adepts, they really were able to just put us onto the back foot kind of the whole game. We did end up stabilizing, and we got some pretty good hits in with our tracker, but unfortunately in the end just came up short. This not being able to use this Detention Sphere on those critters was a real shame. You know, having to burn it on this was too bad. But yep, that's just the way things go. I don't know if I would again, these kind of caught me off guard a little bit. I'm not sure whether I would sideboard differently at all with this in mind. I mean, it's certainly not worth it to bring in Stony Silence or anything like that. I mean, you're just gonna have to rely on your engineered explosives or your detention spheres to get you there, I guess. But either way, it was a good match, and I'll see you again in the next game. Thanks for watching.